Okay. I hope you're ready. I hope you're fucking ready.
Try to
Alright, okay.
be so loud.
No, it's not. It's good. It's episode 2 of Off Track. Didn't even know if we were going to get to an episode 2. But it was well received. It actually was. And I was actually quite surprised that it was well received. But we're back
We made
in
it to
here.
episode. Oh, sorry.
What? You're sorry for
I
what?
ruined the introduction. I interrupted.
No, the introduction was already done. I faded the music out this time, too. I didn't even just fucking cut it abruptly. I actually faded it out.
Wow, I'm impressed. Did
I
you
know.
learn all that in the second episode that we did?
We
That-
did,
that
yeah.
nobody
So
will
this is
ever
episode,
see
it's
again?
actually episode 2.5 of Off Track. All right, there we go.
Great. That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah, we did,
That's awesome. Yeah.
we did 65,
Entire episode, just
65 minutes yesterday. And then,
mm,
ta-da, pressed done, pressed export, and then the audio file was lost. So that's cool.
I'm bummed out, dude.
I know, and I had a lot of fun last episode, but you know what? You know what really happened was I just deleted it just to have an excuse to have another hour-long conversation with you the next day.
Nothing sounds less believable than that one.
I was actually closing my eyes and scratching the bridge of my nose as I said that entire sentence. It was just whatever, you know?
Excellent. It mattered that little to you.
Man,
Usually lies weigh really heavy on people's consciences, so they have to concentrate on saying them. But you said it pretty effortlessly. That one's an easy one.
I do enjoy doing this, and originally I was thinking, like, I'll just do 40-minute episodes or 30-minute episodes myself. But then I was like, how fucking delusional does that sound, that I'm literally just talking with no one to bounce off ideas or conversate with or anything like that, and I'm just going to assume people are going to want to hear me talk about nothing for 40 minutes? So
Yeah, you're getting into like me levels of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm avoiding
doing
them.
that.
I'm avoiding them by
Yeah.
doing this.
Yeah, you're doing a good. It's a good call.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking come up and a fucking judo chop right to the fucking neck, Austin Power style,
and,
bud.
and it's great. And I think I'm a great guest for you to have because you're pretty unlikable, right? And
Well, I don't know about that.
Something stand-up comics. Well, I'm not done. You're pretty unlikable. So having
Right.
me, who's an even more unlikable person, one of the most unlikable people, right off the bat,
See,
that already puts you in a likable spot, despite you being you.
how about people that are like that, though, right? Like, how about people that actually say, like, we say that and we appreciate, okay, like, there's a certain type of people that appreciate us. But, Matt, like, there's actual people that say that and they mean the polar opposite, and they're just trying to play, like, a defensive, like, self-deprecating card. You know those people?
Yeah, where they're like, they just say negative things about themselves that they don't believe.
Yeah.
So they can get people to say it's like the guy who bugged you at the gym.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he just wanted you to be like, oh, I can tell you've been playing hockey a long time.
Yeah.
You're 60? Wow.
Yeah, wow, can't believe you're 67. Exactly. Or like, oh, like, you look like an athlete, and far from it. And like the classic example is like girls like at a party or a bar or something like that, and they're like trying to make it sound like, like they're so interesting, but they're saying the exact opposite because they feel like they are interesting. They just want you to be like, oh, I like that, because most hot girls, guys will just be like, oh, they're just going to eat up whatever she's saying. You know what I mean?
But those are people that don't have anything like interesting about them, right? But I guess like
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean.
Like their interesting thing about them is that they have an emotion, or they like, or there's something that they think is shitty about them. Like that's their interesting character trait. But like the polar opposite of that is somebody who does like a semester abroad that has something interesting about themselves or something like that. Like they're
oh yeah,
I don't know, their parents adopt, and they just like flaunt that. They shove that into every conversation.
Oh, 100%.
Like they're not asking for consent. They're just like, hey, I did a semester abroad. It changed my life. Do you want to hear about it? No? Well, here we go.
I dated a girl that like I was, and I got pretty close to her. She got to know some of my family. And every time she would meet a different member of my family or a close friend of mine that they didn't know, her family owned a business, and they would ask her like what she would like, her interests were, like how she works, whatever. And literally every single answer would somehow segue into their family's business. Like her identity was her family owned a successful business, small business. So annoying, man. I was just like, but what do you like? What do you do? Tell them.
Yeah, and there's a difference between that and somebody like for you, bodybuilding is a part of your identity.
Right,
for sure.
A part.
Like that's a part of you that's completely isolated in you. Like besides the whole sport of bodybuilding, like that's something about you. But something like a parent's business or somebody like it's just so weird, man. Like
it's just so forced, man. It was almost like
I argued with someone who was like, I know what I'm talking about. My parents are both neurosurgeons. That has nothing to do with you, asshole. Like, knowledge isn't hereditary. I'm not trusting you with my brain, dude.
Yeah. Imagine just being like some kid that was adopted by a different racist family, and then there's some sort of like racial injustice issue comes up, and you're like, oh well, both my adopted parents were Asian, so I know about this.
Or even just imagine if that's the way it worked. It's not like having, like you were adopted and your parents didn't tell you, and then one day you just start like fixing the plumbing in the house. And your dad's like in a lawyer suit, and he's just like, I was gonna tell you, you know.
It's so forced whenever that's, I don't know, man. Like it just is, I don't know. It's gross to me.
No, it's forced. But the thing is, I do the same thing almost every day.
With what?
With like stand up, and basically just that. Whatever's on my mind, I definitely do that. I force people into like vast comparisons to stand up because I can compare like comedy to anything. So I'll shoehorn it into a conversation that I'm less interested in.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. It's not necessarily about to make it about me. It's just to make it about something that I like.
Sometimes you have to get the fuck out of a conversation. Okay.
Sometimes.
And sometimes that means, okay, how can I seem enthusiastic about something even though I don't give a fuck about what the words are coming out of this person's mouth? So you just have to you have to massage it. You have to massage it into something. And that's called is gift of the gab, okay? That's one of the 2 requirements to good sales, okay? That's just being... Yeah. One of them being a little bit of a liar, okay? That's what it is. You massage the truth. It's like you turn that dough that was going to be whatever it was going to be in the kitchen, and you make it into whatever the fuck you like.
Dude, speaking of being a salesman and kind of a liar and a piece of shit,
yep.
I had a buddy who's a salesman who was telling me about like buying cars off people for a trade-in or whatever.
Tremendous.
And he didn't know anything about cars, but he would just make them do random shit. Like, could you pop the hood and then rev your engine at 2000 for about 5 seconds? Okay, that's good. Shut it off. And then they start like checking the tires and stuff, and they're not checking for anything. They're just waiting for you to be like, "Oh well, yeah, I did hit a curb a few years ago.
100%.
The alignment's always been screwed up."
100%. Man, before I bought my last car, I had this rigmarole with actual used car dealerships, right? Well, I mean, new and used car dealerships, but I like to buy my cars outright. I don't like to have payments. I don't like to have any sort of interest or anything like that. So I went
you're rich.
Okay, far from it. But here's the thing. I went to this place in Ottawa. It's called Myers Volkswagen. I spoke with a gentleman that was around my age, probably slightly younger, and this guy was the best, man. He had a mustache that literally looked like someone had a brown non-permanent marker, had covered his pinky finger, and literally went over his top lip and curved it over his top lip curvature, okay? It was literally a caterpillar on his top lip. So the guy's name was Brock, hell of a salesperson, and what I mean by that is just an honest guy, okay? Or could portray an honest guy. I test drove this car. The stereo wasn't working in it. I couldn't figure out how much I really liked it. So I came back in. Brock's like, he let me just go because this was during COVID times. He couldn't even sit in the passenger seat with me. I could have ripped that car around at fucking 160 on the 401. He wouldn't have known. But anyways, I drove it around like I normally would drive it. I come back. I say, hey, man, unfortunately, like a stereo is a really big thing for me. It was a nice car. There was no exterior damage or anything like that. I just said, I can't figure out if I actually like it, and this is an hour and a half drive to test drive this thing. I would appreciate, first of all, if you told me there was no stereo working. But I just, of course, yeah. You know, like I can't figure out if I actually like this. I can't give you the price that you're asking for it. So he leaned over the desk to me, and he said, listen, my sales manager is letting cars go to auction. No one in this joint is selling cars anymore. He's like, we've sold, like the salespeople have sold like 3 cars over the last month. He's like, I'm going to be totally honest with you. He's like, just give me the highest price that you would pay for it, and I'll go talk to my sales manager because I want to make a sale because I'm commission-based. And I was like, okay, well, I told him, you know, it was like 80% of what they were asking for. He disappears. Brock disappears and his mustache disappears. Of course, of all of these places, they all have these sweet blonde young ladies that look great at the receptions table, and they just kind of chat you up. They make you feel like you want to make...
Do what, by the way?
Oh, yeah. What I want.
Who at any front desk outside of like a health care office is doing something there?
Man, listen, the only way...
If you're not a security guard, get lost, get a real job.
Oh, yeah, and listen, they fucked up the toner in one of their copier, printer, fax machine thingies there, and it literally, like, the tile flooring was stained, and that all happened while I was there, okay?
You saw it happen?
I saw it happen. I was laughing. I was actually...
pretty good.
That was the conversation into this little receptionist lady here. And anyways, listen, we're flirting. What's happening is she's intentionally flirting with me, knowing, oh, this guy, if I do this, it might help out the company, and I might get attaboy, is what she might get. And I'm going, am I going to fall in love with this girl? Anyways, so what happens is the sales manager comes out in the middle of the conversation. No greeting, doesn't say hello. Am I going to fall
in love with this girl, and is she going to fall in love with me after she sees me buy this 2005 Honda Miata?
How dare you, okay? How dare you?
Miata, sorted.
It was a luxury car. It was a couple years old, okay? The stereo wasn't working in the fucking thing, though. So what is, like, it might as well have been a 2005. Anyways,
what kind of life ends a stereo system
I don't know. Did someone take it out and sell it? Or?
That's like a 7-year-old that just stops talking all of a sudden. You're just like, oh no, what happened in those first 7 years?
Yeah. It was actually in really great condition, so I couldn't understand it. Anyways, the sales manager comes out, taps me on the shoulder, doesn't say any sort of greeting, just says, sit down in the chair. I go, immediately in my head, I'm like, fuck, am I in the principal's office? Am I in trouble here? What's going on? Did someone say that I broke the printer and there's black ink all over the floor because of me? What's going on? So he pretends, and I mean for sure must have pretended because he was pounding on his keyboard, okay? Pretends looking up the VIN number of the car or whatever, and he says, how do you come up with this number? And I said, well, just like I told Brock, I'm not going to enjoy driving in a car unless I know the stereo's good. If the stereo's bad, I have no interest in buying it, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. He said, that's more than $3,000 under our asking price. I said, I'm very well aware of that. I said, if we can write in a condition that you guys put in a stereo that replaces the original one or an aftermarket stereo of my choosing, I'd be glad to renegotiate the price. And he said, well, we're not going to do that. And I said, okay, well, that's just not good sales, but okay. And he said, I need to understand where you're coming from with this price. And I again retold him the stereo system, all that crap. He said, listen, here's the deal. He's like, this is less than what I would get at an auction for it. And I said, aha. Now, listen, I've already heard this story. You have multiple salespeople mad at you because you're letting all of these cars go to auction. It's like, no one's making commission. I lied, even though Brock was a good guy, and I said, Brock's thinking of finding another job because he can't make any money here. I said,
Jesus Christ.
so now we're seeing eye to eye. He pulled up a few other cars. He gave me his business card. He said, phone me back whenever you change your mind. I, of course, did not change my mind.
Yeah.
It's just, where do, these people, the car salespeople, I think they're probably one step above, I wouldn't say rapists, but one step above.
I would say ISIS for sure.
ISIS? Yeah. Yeah, right?
Here's the thing. Let's say you were in the market to be a salesman. All right?
Okay.
No matter what led you to this in your life, let's say you want to be a salesman. How many sales jobs are you applying to and not getting before you apply for a used car salesman?
It's got to be pretty low down the ladder, right? Like, even at that place,
you got to get through car salesmen and a few different kinds of car salesmen before you get to used car salesmen. Because there's jewelry salesmen.
Yeah, even at that place, which was Myers Volkswagen in Ottawa, which is an absolute shithole. Okay, there were new car salesmen, there were new and used car salesmen, and then there were what they called new used car salesmen. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what you were dealing with.
Brock was a new used car salesman.
Yeah.
Didn't really seem like he was gonna, stick it out at Myers for 40 years. Seemed like he had been there for a few months and probably didn't want to be there for many more months.
Yeah.
But it just is when you're. It's the worst experience. It's the most disappointing experience. It's like I questioned myself if I was like, hey, am I being too hard on looking for a car that I want? That's how bad it was. I was like, am I making these people hate me because I just want a car that I want?
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's exactly it. Well, they're just animals. They don't start as animals. And not all car salesmen are animals. If you're good at it off the bat, you can maintain normal humanship for the rest of your time there,
sure.
Which will probably be short because it sounds like you're a talented human being, right? But there's going to be some BMW dealership that scoops that person up. He's going to be selling 40 Mustangs at Ford next year.
Oh, yeah.
But everyone else besides that guy or girl is eventually going to become an animal. And someone's start and finish process on that is completely different. You might have somebody who's toughs it out for 4 months, getting like half a sale a month average. All right. And then at the end of the 4 months, they just break. All right, their girlfriend/wife is just hammering them down every night, just being like, "When are you gonna get a sale?
Yeah.
We can't pay the electric bill," And then this just bitching over useless stuff, obviously. And he's just gonna snap, and he's gonna start lying constantly.
Well, I really appreciated the honesty from Brock, at least. Like even today, Ontario's going back into the lockdown. We talked about this on episode 2, and we're on now, like I said, we're on 2.5. And I tried to, about 45 minutes away, there's someone that has closed the gym, and they're liquidating their weight plates. Okay, their Olympic plates, all the way from 5 pounds. He's got the standard, 5, 10, 25, 35, 45. He's even got 50-pound and 100-pound plates. So I messaged him, and I'll read you the message. And I'm chipper. Please. Okay, I'm looking to give this guy exactly the money he wants for the plates.
Yeah, you're looking to open a gym, bud.
And I go, hi, is this available? And are there any 45s, 50s, or anything, 45s, 50s, or 100s, or anything in between left? He says, quote, unquote, yeah. Okay. I go, okay, so awesome.
Far doing well.
Okay, awesome. Do you have 75s? I know they're rare, but if you have them, I'll take them today. He says, no. I say, okay, what time can I come up to take a look at what you have? He said, tomorrow. I said, okay. Do you have it's Easter, so I'm not going up anyways, but I want to keep the rapport going, okay? I say, do you have a time that is better for you? And we are yet to have a reply here. These 6 messages, 7 now, have taken since 8 a.m. this morning. Do you want to sell this stuff or not, guy? You know, that's one step below the used new car salesman, the new used car salesman.
Yeah, no, man, I don't think you can say that. That's somebody. That's an interesting one because Facebook and Kijiji and all that. Facebook especially just lets people become businesses.
Oh yeah, baby.
That buy and sell stuff with no course. There's not even an optional course on Facebook of like how to sell and buy things properly. And you're giving out something that's kind of more personal than your phone number. Like you'll give your phone number and email to almost anyone, but just like if somebody goes add me on Facebook, you're like, okay, this person's about to be a part of my life. And then there's these people messaging you, these random people messaging you, like fucking you. Somebody sees your face and they're just like super indecisive about the time, and they're just
okay. What are we talking about here? What are we getting into here? What are we?
I'm not getting into that. You're the one getting defensive. I'm talking about things that are.
Okay, so what specifically is it about my face, then?
I don't know. There's a bunch of half-naked pictures of you all over your profile.
Okay, this is a fact.
Yeah, that's the only necessary fact.
Okay, but those...
We're talking about how your face is on the creepier side, but that's
okay,
not what we're talking about.
No, my face is not on the creepier side.
Yeah.
No. Okay. It's not.
Okay, I guess I'm wrong.
Okay, so people look at my face and they probably think, wow, what a friendly, outgoing, they probably say, what a wholesome.
And then they see all the half-naked pictures.
Wholesome.
Almost completely naked, man.
Yeah, but those are not erotic pictures, okay? So it's fine.
But it's a lot to process, you know?
Let me tell you. There's a lot to process.
Like, it's just... I'm giving this guy the benefit of the doubt that he might just be getting a lot of people messaging him and being non-committal. To put him below used car salesman is aggressive because used car salesman at least had a week of training.
Brock at Myers Volkswagen, I had a great experience with him.
A week of training at least, right?
Oh, I would say hopefully. Did he exemplify any of the training? No. But did he have a week of training at least? Yes.
Yeah, he's an employee of the site or of the place you're buying from.
He was.
You're buying from, but Thomas or whoever you're buying. What's his name? What's the name are we gonna make up? Thomas.
His actual name is Thomas. Zach, and I will just leave it at that.
Okay, so perfect. So Zach doesn't work for Facebook, man. Zach doesn't have to adhere to any standards or guidelines. Nobody's telling Zach how to act.
Well, here's the thing, okay? Listen, you put an ad up on Facebook, you want to sell something, let's make a deal, okay? Let's get a fucking deal going here.
But maybe he's got an offer for the whole lot, and they're being more committal than you.
I don't know about that, because every time...
Why is this the thing we're arguing about?
Because, listen, fuck this Zach guy is what I'm trying to get at here, okay?
Okay.
All right. Hey, so my rash is better today, man. My rash is better today.
Your rash, yeah. We talked about your rash yesterday.
Yeah. So
on the episode, yeah, you have an allergic reaction which you developed as an adult, which kind of sucks. I'm glad it's not bees or something that would kill you.
It's not bees. It's one of my great friends. He is anaphylactic to peanuts. Okay.
That's brutal.
And one time he rolled the dice on a donut, a limited time donut from Tim Hortons that may have contained peanuts in it. And he said he didn't drive at the time, but he said, "Can you get me to the hospital if I need it?" And I literally looked right back at him and I said, "Don't eat that fucking donut." And he did. And for about 6 minutes, I was sweating out of every possible pore in my body because I thought I might have to rush my best friend to the hospital.
Dude, I've heard 1,000 stories from like teachers and people about other kids in their school and stuff when they were growing up about the kid who was anaphylactic to peanuts and would just like on Halloween or Valentine's Day or whatever, just take a big old bite of a Reese's and then stab themselves in the leg with an EpiPen. I've heard that exact story from like 40 different people.
I had a beautiful Argentinian Jewish friend in college who was a male.
Yep.
Who was a male.
Right.
And he was severely
None of the details you gave me mattered. None of the details you gave me
lactose intolerant. Okay.
Yeah, none of those matter. The fact that he's Middle Eastern and Jewish have nothing to do with his lactose intolerance.
Argentinian is not Middle Eastern. You uncultured, uneducated swine.
I don't remember what you said, but you're bringing race into this when it doesn't need to be a part of this story.
Okay, well, I just want to say this guy was intensely lactose intolerant, but about once or twice a month, okay, would just bite the fucking bullet for some frozen yogurt because it's just that fucking good.
Dude, I'm lactose intolerant. I ate only cheese yesterday.
Oh. First of all, even if you weren't lactose intolerant, that's bad. Don't do that.
I don't care, dude. I don't care.
Do you know what? Are you one of these guys that's like, cheese is so fucking good, dude? Cheese is like a fucking, it's like a delicacy. Okay.
No, dude.
I don't like those people either.
Food is good. Food is good. Ice cream, cheese, dairy, all milk.
Okay.
All food, all good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I used to date this girl that she would, listen, I don't know. I can name you about 3 different kinds of cheeses, okay? Actually, let's go on. Let's see how many between you and I we can name. Okay, so cheddar.
Marble.
Okay. Monterey Jack.
Mozzarella.
Brie cheese.
Gouda.
Oh fuck, dude, that was my next one, dude.
Okay, well I guess you got to go to your next one.
Fuck, man, I think that's it, man. I think that's actually all I know. Goat. Oh, fuck, we both said goat at the same time.
Yeah, but on my end, you were behind me.
True.
So I must have been first.
Okay, well, anyways, I had someone that always, I was trying to see someone that always, if it was a date night or whatever, if we were going back to watch a movie at one of our places, you had to get cheese. You had to get special cheese. Send me to the fucking store. Get this kind of cheese and blah, blah, blah. We'll have this to drink. Listen, I don't give a fuck. But that is the most pretentious. And, dude, like, if you're a middle-class person or a lower-class person and you have this pretension, this fucking built-up pedestal for cheese, what are you doing?
Yeah, feta and nacho cheese.
Feta and nacho.
Yeah, if you're dating someone or if you're living with someone, you have a responsibility to care about your diet. Like, because you're going to fart around them.
Yeah.
That's just, they have to deal with the consequences of your actions. Like, I dated, have you ever been with dated a girl who is comfortable farting around you?
No, no.
Okay, I dated one girl ever that was comfortable. Yeah, but I figured out because it started off, I was just like, okay, cool, she's comfortable around me because I don't really care about farts. I think they're hilarious. So, and then,
grow up.
Like I was like, cool, she's just comfortable around me, and then she was farting a lot around me. It was like at the 6 to 8 month point.
Yeah.
And she was farting a ton around me, and I was like, wow, she must have just been really holding it in. I was like, this is odd. And then one time I saw her, it was like right in the morning, she pushed a fart out, and I was like, oh, she doesn't love me anymore.
Yeah, in the bed in the morning.
Oh, that's
Do you think?
Oh, yeah, on purpose. Yeah, just as I woke up, just as I lifted the cover, just let one. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that...
I was just like, you're trying to get rid of me. Okay, this is what this is. And
maybe girls, maybe females, because they've held in farts around men for so long, and probably other females for so long, they just have this immense amount, and like they just don't go away. Like when you hold in a fart, it comes out later.
That's so insane.
No, it comes out later. Yeah. Hear me out.
Yeah, it comes out like that night.
Hear me out.
It comes out at some point, yeah.
Okay, so what if genetically women just fart more, but there's more resistance not to let out farts? And then finally, when they get comfortable around a guy, it's just like, all right, I can fart now.
I think they get better at. I think they get better because I know a lot of people who have never still like have wives and they've never heard them fart, and I'm like, well, they fart, and they're like, yeah, I know, I just never, it doesn't exist. I've never seen them like poop either. I never like, it just doesn't happen.
Yep.
And I think boys, it's just more acceptable for boys to fart. Like, I don't think it's genetic. I think girls, they're training at a young age to fart, so they don't get alienated and shamed, right? So I think they just get better at that skill, and then I think they get better at just that, or they get better at like placing the farts. Because like you said, they have to come out at some point, right?
Yeah.
And you can't, it can't be during the sleep, right? Because then that lets the cat out of the bag. That's you don't know who's awake at that time, who's really listening.
Here's
so
where
you don't
I'm
want that
at
on
with
your
it.
Amazon Alexa. So I think they get really good at just like masking, like farting silently and in public when there's other people around, so they can blame it on people.
Okay. So
You ever not fart, and then your girl is like, says like, "Why'd you fart?" and they get so mad at you, and you're just like, I didn't even know I farted, but I guess I farted.
No.
I think it's stuff like that.
No. I'll hold them in. Okay. So here's my comfortability level. Okay. I'll hold it in the fart. I will, but I also want my girl to be comfortable enough to fart, but those farts can't stink. Okay?
Yeah, if
they
you
cannot
unleash
stink.
a fart,
dude,
that stinks. It's offensive.
Oh, here's the thing. Okay, my farts can stink a little bit. Okay, and that's just because I'm a man. Okay, and it's
Some
not
people would
sexist
say
to
diet, but yeah, I guess.
Okay, and mine are allowed to fart a little bit.
Your fart smells are defined by your genitalia.
Absolutely, 100%. And you heard that here first from Liam Connell. Okay.
Do you have fart? Do you
email
farts for when you're hard and soft?
No, absolutely not. Okay, that's different. Okay, that's a whole nother level. That's homicidal thought. Here's the thing.
Okay.
I dated one girl one time, and I wasn't even allowed at her house.
Ever.
One time I dated one girl, and that's the end of the podcast. Yeah. All right, I hope you guys had a good time. All right, so, and she wouldn't even let me upstairs whenever she was using the bathroom because she didn't want me to smell anything bad. And I really appreciated that. Okay?
Yeah.
I would rather be confined to downstairs.
Did you ever hear your mom fart? Your parents?
Yeah, I've heard my mom and my dad fart.
Did your mom? Is it like an accepted thing? Was it an accepted thing in the family, or like growing up? Was that?
Yeah. Especially from my dad would lock eyes with me and smile and then fart.
Yeah, and that's our relationship with farts. Like when we lived together in residence, right? Like. That's pretty on cue. But what about with your mom? Was it more of a secretive thing on her side?
I mean, if she had to go, she would go. If she had to just let one out, she would. But I think it was more if she could hold it, she would be secretive about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. No, my family is pretty fart positive. Like, definitely negative. Like, my dad would get so angry when I would fart in the car, and I would laugh.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Laughing.
And it's wild, man. When you're younger, your farts smell worse, dude.
Because your body doesn't. Because you're eating shit constantly.
Oh yeah, you're literally eating flavored plastic all day.
Sugar. Yeah, candy, and your body's like, let's get this out of here, and it's turning into gas because your body's
100%
trying to get any nutrients they can out of it.
Man,
that's farting out airborne plastics.
Dude, I'm starting to think that maybe I just hit my quota of holding in farts around girls, and that forced this allergic reaction out from the core of my body.
No, that's an insane thing to think.
No, that could be it, man, because I'm very gentlemanly. No. I'm so gentlemanly whenever I'm around a girl. If I take them out on a date, if they're over at my house, I don't fart, dude, okay? And if you do, that's on you, man. Okay, that's wrong.
No, that's everybody. Everybody holds it in on
You would think so, but I've heard horror stories that.
Yeah, well, those are savages, and you don't
Absolutely.
hang out with those people. Those are the exception. You can't make these. That's so what? That's the exception. That's not everybody. Most people are like you.
Well, I'm just happy to know that I'm not in the bottom 5% of those people.
No, well.
Okay.
There seems.
Hold on.
No, I'm not. No, this is not what I'm saying. You're misinterpreting me already. No, I'm not saying that you're one of the people. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it does seem like there's a lot more people like that than not like that. But I think that's based on numbers that go outside.
All right. Yep. I'd agree.
I think as far as like straight up just percentage wise, more people are like you and me and Holden farts and stuff. But like people that go outside, people outside at any given time, the percentage of those that are fart on the first daters, that's got to be way higher.
Dude, okay, so here's the thing.
And I think those are people going on more first dates too.
Here's the thing. If I think I can get away, like if I'm 100% confident, if I'm 95% confident, I can get away with a fart on a date, especially if it's like you're walking outside, you're taking a hike or something like that, I will do it. Okay?
You saying that like the girl's going to turn into Sherlock Holmes the minute she catches the whiff?
No, takes out a baby bloodhound out of her fucking backpack whenever we're hiking and she's like, "What is that, boy? What is that? Who was that?"
Yeah, she FaceTimes her friend Watson.
Deduces some sort
Watson's her ex-boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
That she's still friends with.
Oh, God.
He's Watson. You don't understand. Watson's just a part of my life. You know,
yeah.
Like you're just together for so long.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just not even like
we're
that.
just friends. Okay. After we're done this hike, we're gonna go out for dinner. I'll text you tomorrow. It's fine.
Exactly. Anytime I've met a girl like that, like usually it's not a girlfriend because women don't like me.
Okay.
But like as a friend, and somebody tells me that they have a friend that's a guy that's not me, I'm immediately like, hey, that guy wants to have sex with you. You know that, right?
See,
and they're like, and then they're like, no, and I go, well, yeah, and then they go, no, you don't get it. It's not like that. I'm like, it's like that with all your guy friends. And they're like, no. I was like, okay, ask any of them if they want to have sex with you. And then they almost every time they go, hey, Liam, do you want to have sex with me? And I go, no, you're gross.
Okay, wow, that's very nice. Okay, good save there. Because I was going to say, I do have friends that I text that are female pretty much every day that I'm not looking to have sex with them. If they text me out of the blue a picture of them, in the nude and said, come over, would I go over? Yes.
Right, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. And I don't have any friends like that.
You don't?
Dude, that could never be an element.
That's your fucking in, bro. That's the best wingman you can get is definitely a female.
If you were in the next room and sent me a picture of you naked, nothing would happen between us.
Dude, would you laugh though? Would you laugh if I sent you a picture of me naked?
The picture of you naked laughs. Anyway.
Okay, not everyone would laugh at my naked pictures, but
you get what I'm saying? Like that's not an element in real friendships.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in most guy-girl friendships, that's an element where, hey, I would have sex with you if you gave me the opportunity, and you can't build a friendship.
Okay, so here's what
it has to be. But there are girls where they're just like, oh. Even if they're attractive, that you've just known for long enough, or in a specific way, and it's not like that, and zero of those people are exes.
True. But one of the things that you come to learn as you, let's say, meander through young adulthood, such as myself. Okay.
Us. Well, let's stop with the young adult stuff with you.
Well, young adulthood. Well, listen,
you're just an adult now.
When does adulthood end? 100?
No, wherever you're at.
No, I'm in adulthood still.
Hey, and it's always been wherever you're at.
Yes, I'm still in adulthood, and I am on the young side of that.
No, nope.
What is middle adulthood?
Hey,
What's middle-aged?
What I'm saying to you is that you've never been a young adult. You were a teenager, and then you turned 18, and you're an adult.
I disagree. What I'm going to say is
All right.
you do
All right.
two things. You learn to appreciate good conversation, even if it's with someone that you're not sexually attracted to, if you're having it with the opposite sex. And you also learn that even if you are talking to someone of the opposite sex or a female is talking to a guy, it doesn't mean that something is going to happen between them.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
So
In most cases, something's not going to happen.
in most cases, it's not going to. It might not be for the lack of effort for sure from the guy's part.
Yes.
Okay.
But if girls were savages like guys were,
Go on. All right.
what do I need to go on with? It would be every interaction would end in sex.
Yeah, a much higher percentage for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And between you and me, it's like it's like we're both straight men. No, I'm getting off the rails.
Okay, you're
Getting off track, but that's the name.
You know what? We gotta end the episode anyways. I gotta go look at a fucking house.
All right, cool.
You know.
We'll end it with zero momentum going into the end, baby. That's how we do it.
That's how you do it, right there. We don't need any.
That's how you do it.
Here's the momentum, right here, guy. Okay.
Mhm.
Right there, dude. I actually love this. I love this little 20-second clip of music. Okay, so guess what? Episode 2, we had named it before the end of the episode. And I'm going to have to re-listen to this one to come up with a fucking title. But that's okay. And until next time, I never say anything like that. But just good luck and have fun. Do you want to say anything?
No, my dad's calling me.
All right.